Howdy, lovies! Today I'm going to read you a story called Macaroni. This is the cover of the book, and it's by Kathleen Lombardo, and it's illustrated by Cyndy Szekeres. Illustrated means that's the person who drew the pictures for the book. And inside the book, here's the first page we see. It's the title page. It's called Macaroni. So, oops. For some reason, Nana's having a hard time turning the pages of this book. So here we go. The black-feathered bird of winter with big moon eyes has flown away, sneezing and coughing with a drippy nose. The blossom-feathered bird of spring has come wearing blue galoshes and sashes of pink and white wind. Oops, turning the page. And on this lovely spring morning, the sun was wearing its yellow coat. The sky was swimming with cloudfish, and houses had big grins on their faces. I could almost see the tulips snapping open. It had rained during the night, so I went down to a puddle at the corner to watch the upside-down sky. I was following a caterpillar cloud wiggling across the water when the strangest thing happened. Let's look at these. Do you see the smiles on the houses? Can you see? Does it look like the house is smiling? And look, here's the little boy. He's watching the clouds in a puddle. Have you ever done that? It's fun. A little pig peeked into the puddle at me. I stared at him. I certainly didn't know what to say. You hardly ever meet a pig in the city, either on the street or looking back at you in a puddle. It's true, you don't. Suddenly, splash! He jumped into the water, upsetting the sky. Then just as fast, he jumped out and he began running away, and I chased him. We ran down an alley, and I followed him into an open garage. He raced into a corner and began oinking. I suppose he wanted to get out of his way. He looked so funny, his cheeks burning red with anger and his tail twisting around like a flag. You see? He was full of mud, but I just had to pick him up and hold him. In my arms, he squealed down and began making tiny little squeaks. I just have to take you home and ask my mother if I can keep you, I said. I named him Macaroni on the way home. He was named after his tail. His tail does look like macaroni, doesn't it? Seconds after I stepped into the house, I found myself in the shower, and Macaroni found himself in the backyard. I put on fresh clothes and went into the kitchen to talk to Mom about Macaroni. She called Dad, and they agreed that I could keep the pig until we found the owner. I raced outside to tell Macaroni the good news, and just as I should have expected, he was laying in the muddy corner of our flower garden. Aw, little Macaroni the pig. Let's see if I can turn the page. This is a very old book, and it's hard to turn the pages. Every time he moved, there was a squishy sound followed by an oink of joy, and I could just imagine what he was thinking. Look at all the little pictures. Mudge, mudge, better than fudge when I'm deep in the glorious mudge. I have no other thought except never to budge from the glorious, glorious mudge. Mush, mush, delicious mush when I'm down in the wonderful mush. I have no wish than to be where I am, deep down in the glorious squish. I suppose that pigs think heaven is made of miles and miles of glorious mud. Once in a while, I would cover the mud hole with a wheelbarrow so that Macaroni would play with me. We would run around the yard, and we'd race in circles until we fell down on the grass, with the yard still going around. Once, after we had been running around for almost an hour, we fell asleep together outside. I had a dream, and in my dream, Macaroni was a boy, and we were fishing together. I imagine I'm a pig in Macaroni's dreams. Probably, huh? I've always liked to do handstands in the spring. I tried to teach Macaroni to do one with me, but naturally he couldn't. He could do a halfway nose stand. I think in Mud Happy Spring, his heart probably does headstands instead. Look at that. Okay, here's a poem. Here's a poem we made up about spring. The birds are bright and the sun is chirping and the clouds sway. Trees move by slowly. The earth hums a song. Spring has come. Do you see the birds and the trees and the clouds? It's a pretty neat picture, isn't it? Sometimes I wonder where Macaroni came from. The zoo? I couldn't remember seeing pigs in the zoo. The circus? I like to imagine him in the circus, walking the tightrope or taming lions or riding a bicycle. Here's the pictures. Do you think that it would be wise for a pig to try to tame a lion? I'm not sure. Oh, look at this page. Look at the clouds. Look, there's the little boy, and there's Macaroni in the city. But look at the clouds. I think these are animals. Maybe an octopus and a goose. What do you think? What do you see in those clouds? Oh, look, I think that one's a goat. Let's see what the words say. You can go to the circus any day when the clouds are many and the sky's not gray. The circus tent is the biggest cloud, filled to the top with a cheering crowd for the toothless lion and the 10-legged dog who have a race with a giant frog. As the fat duck sings from the highest trapeze while horses dance on water skis. There are elephants juggling in the rings and a polar bear who sprouted wings, stripeless zebras and crocodile cats and a nanny goat who acrobats. You can go to the circus any day when the clouds are many and the sky's not gray. There's some pictures. Macaroni and I were Macaroni and I were getting to be great pals. My parents never said anything about finding his home. We never talked about it. Macaroni was mine, and I was his. I think they love each other. I have a little pig. His name is Macaroni. I've tied a cornflower on each of his ears. We like to walk up to a puddle and look at the water, and we smile at ourselves. Uh-oh, what's happening? Macaroni and the boy are getting in the back seat of the car, and there's apples. But I began to worry about Macaroni. What if he didn't like the city? What if he wanted to live like other pigs in the country, in a pigsty? It would be very sad if I had to give him up, but I wanted him to be happy. So Dad and I had a talk, and we decided that Macaroni should choose his own home. Early the next Saturday morning, we took a ride and brought Macaroni with us. We were very far away from the city when Dad stopped the car in front of a big, lovely farm. Macaroni squealed to get out, and I didn't like the sound of it. I opened the door, and he made a dash for the barnyard, and I followed him. And when I looked over the fence, there he was, squealing and grunting with the rest of the pigs. I thought, if he stays with all those pigs, I'll never see him again. It began to rain, and I ran back to the car and I called him. I didn't know if he would come this time. So when I saw him running through the field towards me, I almost cried with joy. That's a happy thing. Sorry, I have to turn the page. He jumped into the car and I hugged him all the way home. He sat in my lap and I hugged him hard. Oh, look. They love each other. The rain jiggles down. Flower mouths are sipping and a mouse shakes himself off under a step. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. The rain jiggles down. Several million drops worth. One drop with wee ears and a wee tail running down the pane. They're in the car looking at the rain. The end. That's the end of that story. I love you, and I hope you have a very good day. Love you. Bye.